All right, Brice,
Hey,
the season one of FX Masters has concluded. Um,
finally.
how do you feel? It's been 10 months, right?
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been really awesome. Obviously it's a big chunk of work. It's pretty intense as we
Mm,
talked about, but we made it, and I think we did pretty great for like a first run. Got
hmm.
some amazing shots from the students. So yeah, overall I'm really happy and ready for run number two.
Sweet. I think the you were sharing some statistics and you said you re I think you said it you did 600 hours of dailies with
Yep.
the that's insane.
640 hours of daily time over the 10 months,
Wow.
which is, I mean, less than 10 months if you remove the holidays, but yeah,
Yeah.
640 hours.
So you were doing like 3 dailies per week, like 3 times per week you guys would have dailies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, just explain how it worked.
Fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, the idea was to have three dailies with
Mm,
basically every student.
mm,
So we work as a team of three ideally, but we also had teams of two. And yeah, so I was seeing each team three times a week. So it was Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So maybe the easiest is for me to share my screen. I can show you quickly the um, calendar
yeah.
that we were using.
Yeah, if you can just guide us through how it worked, what you guys were doing, what was the like just in general, what was the workflow and how everything worked, I think people would love to see. So we get so the next batch of students would get a better idea. But for this batch, season one had 18 people, right,
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
yeah,
And then I think you mentioned that a few of them actually got hired during
exactly.
the period. Yeah.
Some people dropped off. Like as you said, like there's a bunch that got hired, so
Mm,
they felt like they needed to dedicate all their time with their
hmm.
new job, which is totally fair. So they
Yeah.
decided to drop the course. A few had some personal issues. I'll not get into that here,
Yeah.
but yeah, they had to sadly dropped up the course. But
Yeah.
yeah, apart from that, it went really well.
Sweet.
Um, so in terms of like organization and all of that, so we're using Google Workspace,
Hmm.
which actually a lot of studios are using. So
Hmm.
just to name two, ILM, Rodeo FX, that I've
Hmm.
worked with, worked for, I mean, they both using that for emails. As you can see here, we also have the chat system. So we get some like Discord-like servers, but also
Hmm.
like I have private chats with everyone.
Hmm.
If you know, any students needs to ask me a question, they need some help, anything, I'm always here. And then we're using the calendar heavily. So this is like back in October. So you see, when we start, before the start of the course, I actually have a meeting, a private meeting with all the students. So
Hmm.
that was my week before the official start of the course. And wow, and that was another one.
Hmm.
And then a usual week would kind of look like this. So on Monday, as I said, I spend my day in dailies, pretty much. So with each teams. Tuesday, I usually spend either helping people on like technical problems or also prepping the class. Um, they are ready, like they're already done, but you still need time to prep and make sure that everything's fine, everything's working. I also spend time updating the classes every year because obviously, you know, you get new versions of Houdini, new tools. So, you know, there's always this new node or this new workflow, and I'll always update the classes. So that's what I'm using the Tuesdays and Thursdays for. And then we get the classes at the end of the day. So this week we had two, like one on Tuesday night and one on Thursday night. And then okay, Wednesday and Friday we repeat and we have dailies, right? So dailies are the the core one of the core part of this course, and just to match what we do in studios, feedback is king. So basically I'm here to give you feedback 3 times a week on your progress. So we don't want you to deviate and go on in a wrong direction. So I'm always here to help you stay on track and keep things organized and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Google Workspace have been great. Gives us everything we need. So for the video call, chat, email, the calendars. I could also set up time slots for you to book if needed. We used that a couple of times. I'm taking care of all the organization. So once the students got their email address, they'll get everything ready. And they also get 15 gigabytes of data storage online, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so the other tool we are using heavily is SyncSketch. So SyncSketch is basically this review tool that we use during the dailies. So it allows us to synchronize. So the students upload their work, okay, so through a video. And basically everyone join in and in the session, and everyone sees the same things. And I'm going to show you a little bit what it looks like. So let's say I'm jumping in here. So this is with one of the teams. So that's all the, what the students uploaded. And I can show you, maybe not this one. Well, here you go. So, which is pretty cool. It's like everyone sees the same thing, and then I can come in and comment on this. So for example, I can say, this needs to be updated. You need to change the color. So I can put like notes and on the image directly, and it kind of sticks, right? And I can also on the right side put some comments. Need to add more fire, right? And it's also linked to the frame. Okay. And all of that stays throughout the course. So, the students can write their own notes and they can come back to it. If they forgot what we said during the dailies, they can always go back to that and make sure that they hit the notes for the next session, basically.
Yep.
So yeah, that's been a really great tool.
It is. Yeah. I'm currently working on a cinematic as a freelance project, and we are also using SyncSketch. Like the studio is using it, so it's fairly used in like actual production and studio work.
Yeah. And I mean, there are other softwares in the studios that they use to do these things, but it's always the same. It's just a different, UI, but it's always the same.
Yep.
So yeah, that has been great. Another thing I could mention is like in terms of classes, we ended up at 55 hours of classes, which all the students they were really happy about. It will increase a little bit for the next course because, as I said, I always update, I always try to add more. For example, for this session, the students asked me, they really wanted to get an idea of how I did my red magic. So I worked on Doctor Strange 2, and I was in charge of the development of all the red magic effects, and they were really keen on knowing how I did it. So I kind of prepped the class specifically for that, which is now part of the classes of the FX Masters. Yeah. So I try to add a little bit every year on top of updating everything that I have. So every year it gets a little bit bigger.
Dude, I want to know how you did the magic. I need to watch the videos.
Well, you have access to it, so
I do. Yes.
so it wasn't like 100% recreation,
Yeah.
because obviously it spends
Yeah.
a long time working
But the
on it.
logic and the
The
workflow
logic
is
is
there.
there, like, you know, just have the don't have the final settings, but yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah. Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is there. So yeah,
Nice.
they were really happy about this. So
Yeah.
obviously, like I can't do a lot of new classes because it takes a
Mm.
lot of time to prep
Yeah.
and to create. But I try, yeah, to add a little bit every year.
Nice. Awesome.
I think that's about it for like like the organization part and how things work. I think we
You want
get
to
a
maybe show some of the students' work and
sure.
how that, like, what was the pipeline in terms of, because you said there were multiple teams, but then there were individual projects as well, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can go through that. So here I've got little videos. So those are like kind of the final shots, as in like 1 month ago, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So some students were still finalizing their other shots, and they keep working on it, which is pretty good. But here should gives you a good idea of what we created. And I'm just gonna let it play through, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit about the different types of shots that we're doing.
Yeah. This is epic. Like some of them really. Oh, that's me.
Sorry, I forgot about that. There was a little insertion of you.
That's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, some of them honestly look like they could be, especially I think this one looks amazing. There was another volcano one that I was like, is that all just plate or where's the effects? And you were like, oh no, all the smoke and everything is effects. I was like,
Yeah,
that's insane.
yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. Actually, now that I remember, some of them are still work in progress. I
Yeah,
forgot.
so
They're
people are
not.
still finishing this up and working on them,
Yeah,
yeah.
some of them, some of the shots. So those are final. But yes, this one. Yeah, this one is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It just looks like plate photography.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a plate in it, to
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah, but
fair.
like everything looks like it's just plate.
That was the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so the first shot was a team shot and basically creating a shot from scratch. So
Yeah,
full 3D. Yeah, this was a little. All right. So let's go through that a little bit. So
nice.
for example, this was
Yeah.
one of the team shots.
Mm-hmm.
So they went for like this war type of shots. So everything is created by them. A couple
Mm-hmm.
of assets we got online, but yeah, the idea was
Mm.
to collaborate and really understand what it is to work as a team, which is very different than working alone. And having to share the assets, making sure that your side of the job is clean and organized, so that your teammate doesn't have a bad time of working with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so I think it's very important, and it gives us also the opportunity to get like kind of bigger shots, right? Because we can get like more effects into one shot.
Mm.
Um, then let's go a little forward. That was work in progress. I wanted to talk about one specifically. So yeah, this is another team shot with a little really cool portal.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. I wanted to go to the
This is a good one.
yeah,
Screen.
this is really cool. Again, team shots. So
Yeah.
we got one student took care of the fire and smoke and embers on the
Mm-hmm.
house.
Mm-hmm.
One took care of all the environmental effects, so the fog, the snow on the ground as well. And one took care of the RBD with the debris and particles and all that. So if I go back,
The variety is very broad, right? Like a lot of
yeah.
different effects, different shots. Like some of them are super realistic, and then we go to some magical effects, then we go to some uh, space explosions, like a lot of variety.
Yeah, which is really cool. I mean, it would be boring if we had all the same shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, because basically, like shots have constraints, which are like kind of technical constraints, But then
Mm-hmm.
in terms of artistic side of things, like students are really free to, go wherever they want, right? If they
Mm-hmm.
like space stuff, well, do that. If they like realistic, small scale, you can do that too, right? So
Mm-hmm.
within the constraint, they have a lot of liberties, a lot of freedom to do the shots they want. So this shot, which is shot number 3, actually, is very interesting. So the idea behind this shot is to find a video, play it online, and add FX into the plate and make them as invisible as possible. And this is a really successful one. So
Can you
like,
show the plate?
yeah, I should be able to. Let me find it. So another great thing about Seeing Sketch, like I've got everything
Mm-hmm.
in there. So that was Team A. And the plate is this one.
See, when you first showed me that shot, I was like, oh, the smoke on the left is CG. That's
Yep.
what I said. Because I saw there was like a bit of flickering to it. And I was like, ah, yeah, maybe, the render quality noise kind of thing. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, 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 the lava and everything else is what we added. And I was like, what? It looks great.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
the final shot. Yeah, I guess like yeah, the could be comp, could be like the base video wasn't that great. I think
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
yeah.
the students gonna work on that to fix that a little bit, but it's kind of a red herring. It's just
Yeah.
like you think
Yeah.
that's the problem, but no. So yeah, he worked on the lava and the smoke, and it looks really great.
It
Yeah,
is
when
good.
you
Yeah.
so that's a very real thing to do.
Hmm.
We have a plate and we add an FX when we has to seamlessly blend,
Hmm.
um, which is a lot harder than it seems, right?
Hmm.
That's one thing I want to emphasize as well is like, sometimes you see like very cool shots, like personal shots, but they have basically no constraints, right?
Hmm.
Like you just have to make it look cool, right? And maybe
Yeah.
you need to make it realistic. But here we create constraints for ourselves to make the shot more professional, basically.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
in the studio, so it might seem not as impressive as, like another personal shot, but it's actually much harder to do these kind of things
Yeah.
because of those constraints.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to deal with in the studios.
100%.
So yeah, that was a really very successful shot. And I wanted to show another one. It's
And I see on Sing Sketch, there's like looks like there's like thousands of variations and passes and like feedback
oh yeah,
sessions and everything. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It takes a long time, right? It's just
It
like
does.
yeah, I
And
think
you said
it's
some people
this
were
one.
very junior and some people were a bit more experienced,
Yeah,
right? So,
some people were complete beginners even,
mhm.
which was obviously a little harder for them to keep up. But
But it's good
this,
because you put them in a situation where they need to learn. And I feel like, no pain, no gain. So
yeah,
sometimes the best way to learn something is to, just jump in the water and learn to swim that way.
yeah,
And so I feel like this is kind of a good mix if you have some beginners and people who are already a bit experienced, they will have to perform, right? And that's,
yeah,
I feel like, a good way to learn is to be a bit under pressure. There's a saying, no pressure, no diamond. And it's very true. Like you need some of that pressure to raise, the expectations need to be a bit higher. That's how you actually perform at your
yeah.
best. Yeah,
And I think it's also, like if you're a beginner and you see what the others that are more experienced can achieve, I think it's also
exactly.
inspirational, right?
Yes,
It just
yes.
pushes you to, oh, I want to be at this level, right? I
You,
want to raise to this level.
yeah, 100%.
So another shot, so shot number 2 that we did. So the deal here was to find a reference, a video reference, and
Mm-hmm,
try to match it as closely as you can,
mm-hmm.
like for everything. So that's one of shots, very successful one.
Slow motion fire is a pain in the ass every time.
Yep, yep. And let me show you the original, which was this one.
Nice.
It's a bit hard to see both at the same time.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can maybe help you a little bit. But yeah, like the grading is a little different. Like, to be honest, we did a better job. Like the student did a better job. I don't know like why there's like this color space issue, but doesn't matter too much, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you're using the DJI or what is it called, the player?
DJV,
DJ.
yeah. There's some
DJV,
like,
yeah. It adds like color conversion sometimes that
yeah.
yeah.
But anyway, apart from that, like it's really, really, really close. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. There's no firemen, so the house
Yeah,
is gonna burn
true.
down.
True.
House is
Apart
gonna
from
it's
the
done.
fireman,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was a bit too complex to add, and that didn't really help
Yeah.
us much. But like just in terms of like the fire placements, the behavior of the fire, the lighting, and so everything was done from scratch.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, I go back to the fact that, it doesn't seem that impressive, but when you look at it and you're like, oh, it's really matching the reference. That's the kind of
Yeah.
shots that when you show that to an FX lead, he's gonna know all the work that has been done to get there. Because again, like for some people that are new to the industry and the work of FX, like doing the setup, obviously it's great. That's like the first step. Like you do the setup, but the difficult part comes after. It's when you have to control it and to bend the behavior of the
Mm.
solvers and all that to get to the final result, to get to what the client wants. Because the client doesn't care about the solver, how it works and all that. He has his image in his mind
Hmm.
and he wants you to achieve it. So sometimes you have to, like the solver is doing his thing, you have to go against it, right? It's like how you control all of that to get to the final image. And that's like
Hmm.
the most difficult part of being an FX artist. And
Yeah.
having those constraints and those shots, that's how we achieve that.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a hard reference. I would, if a client would give me this, I would be like, I don't know, slow
yeah.
motion fire and interacting with the door. That's difficult. Yeah.
But yeah, like actually, one thing I can do as well, one thing that is really great about Sing Sketch, I can show you, and something I do all the time during dailies is to compare things, right? So I'm here, and I compare that to the reference,
Hmm.
except it's the right one. The timing doesn't match in this case. Let me see if I can find the proper one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Well, I'm recording my screen, so it's a little
It's a little
laggy.
laggy. Yeah.
But you see, like, apart from the fireman, so
It looks
here
very
you've
close.
got
Yeah.
proper color space.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks very similar, especially when it's like, when you just compare like one frame
Yeah,
on a still frame, like it looks very, very, like, especially the color grade and everything is like almost one to one. Yeah.
yeah. That's the goal. It's like as we push as much as possible, and if you go like look at it from here, becomes like really really close,
Damn.
obviously.
It's great.
Yeah. So that was shot number two.
Mm.
And then we get shot number four, which is kind of what I call the fun shot, um, where basically there's no constraints. So students do whatever they want. Okay. So I'm only here as a kind of a safeguard just to make sure that it's doable in the time we have. But apart from that, there's no constraints. So they really can have fun and experiment and do the shot that they want. And yeah, we ended up with some really cool stuff. Going back to this one, not this version, this one. Um, but yeah, so here, it's also based on the reference. So
Hmm.
I think the students really liked the idea and he went with something like this. So, well, let me show you the reference actually, because again, this did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them just did, something from their imagination, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and without any specific constraints. So it's not the same uh, format, and he took some liberties in terms of grading and all that, but
Right, it's
he
very
tried
similar.
he tried to match the fire behavior, and again did a really good job.
Yeah, it's like almost one to one. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
And the reference is also a bit in slow motion, right?
yeah. There's a bit of a little bit. It's yeah. I mean, for sure, it's slow motion because real fire is much faster than
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like, but the thing is funny, like, people are so used to see slow motion fire that now this looks like the normal when it's really not.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
No, fire is really fast.
really crazy fast.
Yeah.
But it's nicer to look at in a little bit of a slow-mo state.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's great. Yeah, it looks awesome.
But yeah, so that, yeah, again, the whatever you want to do shots. Some people did
Star Wars.
recreations. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
again, yeah, Star Wars shots. So this one is not finished.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Oh,
we
I always wanted to do that shot. When I saw it in the cinema, I was like, and then the sound goes to zero, and everybody was quiet. It's like
yeah,
so such a good moment.
yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people hate the concept behind this shot, but the shot itself is really cool.
it looks awesome. But yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, that's still work in progress. He's still working on it, but yeah, it's gonna look really cool once it's done.
nice. Love it.
Right, so I think that's about it in terms of shots. So I've introduced the 4 different shots that we do,
Yeah.
and the 4 different shots that the student gets at the end of the course for their demo reel.
Nice. Can you show the library that you were talking about, like the videos, the lectures essentially that you recorded?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's somewhere here. Classes, right? So it's all of this.
So essentially, most of them are like an hour or 2 hours long, right? Per video here.
Yeah, there's nothing under an hour for
Yeah.
sure. Uh,
Can you make the
yeah.
icons a bit bigger? I think it's on the right.
How
So instead
do
of a
I
list, you do a gallery, I think.
grid
Maybe
view?
grid. Yeah, yeah. There we go. So also there's like a lot of different topics that I'm seeing here that
Yeah,
go from compositing. I see water and flip. I see explosions. There's just
yeah,
like so many different variety of topics, and these are essentially, yeah, like your pre-recorded almost uh like a library of master classes, right?
yeah. So those
Yeah.
are live. They're not pre-recorded.
They
They're
they
live.
yeah, yeah, yeah. These are already recorded, but they were
Yeah,
live recordings. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Live recordings of me going through through the shots through those classes with the
Exactly.
students.
Yeah.
Um, one thing that we don't have here because I didn't recorded it, but at the end of each class, there's also a Q&A where all the students ask me questions, things that maybe they missed. If they need me to clarify some points that, it wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
We do that at the end of every classes. But yeah, like if I look at the list view, yeah, we have like fire, explosion. There's a big section on water because we
Yeah.
look at a lot of different setups of water, so it's a pretty beefy subject. Lava, Atmos, get a nuke 101 for like people that are not familiar with. And
Yeah.
then I do a nuke breakdowns on some of my shots and see how I go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
We've got destruction, also pretty big subjects. Explosions. The red magic class is here.
Oh, I need to watch
So,
that.
so it's actually 3, 6, 7 hours of
Ah, I
of
need to watch
recording.
that. I'm gonna watch that on 3 times the speed.
Uh, and yeah, we finish with, so there's the first class is methodology, which is very important. And then at the end of the year, we have one class on demo reel. So how to
Hmm.
create it, what things to do and not to do. And then one class on the interview process, how to prepare for it. And then we finish by doing like role play kind of thing, where
Mm,
we create like fake call, where I play the role of an FX lead interviewing someone. And
that's so cool.
Yeah. So as a preparation of it's really cool. So we, pretend like it's a real interview, and at the end, obviously, I'm gonna give a lot of feedback to the students to help improve his performance, I'm gonna say.
That's so important. I remember my first interview and I was scared to death. I I had no idea what to expect, what to say, or how to present myself, and I failed. Like I flopped it 100%.
Yeah.
So this is great. Like role playing is such an important thing
Yeah,
to
because
do.
most of the time it's like the fear of the unknown, right? It's just like
Yeah,
you've never done it, so you're not sure what to expect. So here we've got the class first. So
yeah,
I give like pointers, and I give like the top 10 questions that they will ask you. Because it's always the same, right? And then we do the role play session, and it just takes the weirdness out of it, and it just
it does. It
makes
really
things
helps.
much more comfortable for the student.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was my first in-person interview at NPC. Actually, I flew to London, had a in-person interview. I was so
Yeah.
nervous, and at NPC they used to have at the top there was a bar and like a cafeteria thing,
Yeah, yeah.
and I sat down with like three people, and then we went through the thing, and they brought me some tea, and I was so nervous when I was pouring the tea, like I was shaking, and I spilled the tea all over the table, and I was like, great, Jesus,
First impression, great.
first horrible. I flopped it 100%, but I actually didn't. I didn't decide to take that job, even though I could have got it, but. The just the that whole experience was just terrifying. It was it so what I'm trying to say is even though I spilled the tea, I would still be able to get the job. So if you spilled the tea, it's
Yeah.
fine. They're not gonna be like, that guy who spilled the tea, let's not hire him. But it
Nah, I
was so
think,
embarrassing.
yeah. No, I mean, it's, you know, you should not put too much pressure like on the interview. Like, it's pretty cool industry. Of course, we work. There's money involved and all that, but there's pretty chill people
People are chill,
usually.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
artists are way more chill, yeah.
yeah,
But it was just terrifying. So like if I had something like this when I was starting out, I feel like role playing would help a lot when, especially doing your first or second interview. Those are the
yeah.
worst. But I have a saying in life: you need to fail forward fast. So
Hmm.
I did a lot of failing in my life, and but I was just determined. So I was just going forward all the time. And by doing that, eventually you improve. And now I can, I'm not nervous anymore when if I have an interview, obviously, but it just took a lot of interviews to get there. But
Yeah.
it's
And
practice.
for me personally, it's like if I'm prepared, I feel much more comfortable and way less, stressed.
100%.
I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just me, but like, because you can prepare for interviews, like it's a thing, right? You don't
Yeah.
go like just like this. You can actually prepare.
Yes.
And for me, I feel so much better when I'm prepared.
Dude, yeah. And just knowing what the company does, what do they prefer, you can prepare in terms of how do you present something,
Hmm.
right? Because
Yeah.
if you know they're hiring for like an explosions guy who only does explosions, but you only show them water, like that would be an extreme example of how not to do it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, you can definitely do research and prepare on how to do it. Yeah, awesome. That's great. I didn't know you do role plays in the in the workshop as well. That's amazing.
Yeah. One of the many things.
Yeah, I'm actually super impressed by the whole thing and how much was produced and how many videos and like the quality. And I honestly I believe if I had this like 10 years ago, this would be the most valuable thing you can do, especially if you're just starting out or if you're a junior beginner who wants to work in this industry and if they want to get hired by a
Yep.
studio. I don't see how I don't know if there's anything better than this online right now.
Yep. Well, like we did some videos of like the student feedback.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that will come out at some point,
Yeah.
but
Testimonials. Yeah.
yeah, everyone was super happy. There was
Yeah.
no negative feedback at all.
Yeah.
Everyone was pretty much saying the same thing, that it's amazing value for the price. What you get is insane.
Yeah.
And like one of them told me like he actually looked at something kind of similar, but it was for a shorter period of time in Canada, and it
Yeah.
was actually 20K.
Well, honestly, we started comparing this to what other people are other schools are offering, and we are this is by far the cheapest program, and I think you get just as much or even more than what the other schools are offering. One of the reasons we're doing this is just to make education as accessible as possible, obviously, which I think we are. But yeah, just the quality here is also insane. Yeah. Cool. All right. I think that's it, right? I think that's kind of,
I think so.
yeah. So this first session had 18 people.
Yeah.
This next one, I think we're opening this up for, was it 20 or maybe 21?
21 is like kind of the limit for me.
That's the
Yeah.
max, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Just because there's only so many hours in the day. So
well, I wanted to kind of emphasize that this was your full-time job. You're
yes,
right.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this was all you've been doing, and having even 18 people or 20 people to take care of essentially is a full-time job. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. Cool, Brice. Yeah, hopefully we can we can repeat this in season 2 and just make it better and better. Like I said, I'm super impressed. I was not, when we first did this, I wasn't sure what to expect, because it's like a new thing for us at DoubleJump. We kind of did it not as an experiment, but yeah, just to see if this is something that people would want and would benefit from. And I'm 100% sure this is like the best thing we ever did. So hopefully season 2 gets confirmed very soon.
I hope so too. Yeah, that'd be really cool. But yeah, like it's nice enough. I mean, for me, it is definitely a lot of work. So students are, working hard, but so do I. Just keeping all of that organized and helping them, because yeah, I'm age 24, right? I'm always there, always answering texts and messages and all that.
Yeah.
Making sure everything's on track. But it's also very rewarding for me. When I see the final results of the
100%.
students,
Yeah.
I feel like super proud of what we achieve, what I helped them to achieve. And, I also stay in touch. Like we created a little server where we chat, even though the course is finished. I'm still there.
That's
Not as
awesome.
much, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm still there, and trying to have some news of how everyone is doing.
So not only you learn a lot, but you also make friends and lifelong connections.
Definitely, like the connection part of it is real. That's one of the reasons why we do team shots as well. It's just try to build those connections. And one thing I will improve on season 2, if that were to happen, is to improve that side of things. So the plan is to add what we call monthlies. So they do that in some of the bigger studios. So where once a month everyone join, and we have a more chill kind of conversation and chats, and just so like everyone gets to know each other. And
usually there's pizza involved and beers.
Exactly. So I will not be providing that.
Disclaimer: we're not buying pizza for everyone.
Yep,
but
exactly.
maybe the first session. Maybe we can sponsor one pizza party, but that's it.
Yep. But everyone is free to get their own pizza and join the fun. So yeah, that's one thing I want to try to improve as well on the next one.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Well, I think that's it. Hopefully, season 2 gets greenlit But thanks for your time and for presenting this. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.